Hey, where the heck is my dinner? If you're going to slack off on the house chores like how you are right now, I'll divorce you. And you can't even keep the curfew. You useless, good-for-nothing scumbag.
My husband, Lucas, shouts all these terrible things to me. But I'm happy and grateful that he brought the topic of divorce and thought it was a great opportunity for me. I took out the divorce papers from my bag and handed it to Lucas as I said this. Okay, I understand. Let's just get a divorce then. I will leave immediately. So just enjoy being on your own from now on, okay? My name is Emily. I am 34 years old and I work in a company. It has been a year since I got married to my husband, Lucas. But I completely regret marrying Lucas. The reason why for this is because I found out that my husband was the most bossy, arrogant, and strict person I have ever met. Lucas showed no signs at all of being like that while we were just going out, so how did everything end up being like this? I first met Lucas through a singles party that one of my friend Amy invited me to. Amy told me it was bad enough that I didn't even have a boyfriend at my age, so she practically forced me to go to the party. Well, I had been working all my life and hadn't been in love at all since I was a university student. While everyone around me was getting married and having kids, I had been single for a long time, and I was in no hurry about marriage. But Amy had questioned me if I'd live forever on my own, and since then, I began to think seriously about it and decided to attend the party. And that was when I met Lucas. He seemed to work for an IT company and seemed serious and kind. He was 3 years younger than me and he was in his 30s, so we got along pretty well. Lucas was very keen to have a conversation with me, and we exchanged contact information in the end. He then regularly invited me out on dates, and we had dinner dates together or went on drive dates. Then, Lucas confessed his feelings for me, and we started to go out. At that time, Lucas asked me to go out with him with marriage in mind, and I thought that he was very trustworthy. Then we continued on with our romantic relationship, and it went really well. When I was busy with work, Lucas was very understanding of the situation, and he would tell me that I could put my work first, which was very helpful. I am very happy that he understands my work situation. And in that way, his kindness was what attracted me more and more. Then, about 6 months after we started dating, Lucas proposed to me. I was really happy and thought that getting married to the person I love made me even more happier. No wonder everyone dreams about it. I spent the days leading up to the wedding in a very happy mood. After meeting both our families, I discussed about the wedding ceremony and decided how to proceed the wedding with him. At our actual wedding, I was very happy that so many people celebrated with us. And so began my newlywed life with Lucas. He is a kind and gentle husband, so I was sure we would enjoy each other and have a pleasant, happy life together. I was very happy at first. When I came home from work, my husband was there, and when I woke up in the morning, he was sleeping right beside me. Until now, we had been going back and forth between each other's places, but now that we were living together, we could be near each other all the time. I was really happy about that. But about 3 months into our marriage, my husband suddenly said something like this to me.
Emily, you always come home late, so what are you doing?
What? What do you mean? I'm working overtime, you know.
Don't lie to me. Isn't it strange that you're home so late every single day?
Well, but even if you say so, I'm the department manager, remember? I can't really go home early easily these days since we've been busy at the moment, and I got some things that need to be taken care of.
So, you're not putting me as a priority then?
That's not what I said, honey.
Well, you always come home late, Emily, so I have to wait for you with an empty stomach.
I'm sorry about that. But I'm thinking maybe you should do a little cooking too.
Excuse me? What are you talking about?
Huh?
It's a wife's job to do the house chores.
I was in shock when my husband suddenly said this to me. No way. In this day and age, it's not just women who must always do the house chores. I mean, since we both work, we should cooperate with each other, right? When I argued back, my husband's face turned red and he got super angry.
Wow, I really didn't think that you were that kind of person. That's enough. I'm going out to eat today.
And saying that, my husband ran out of the house. When we were dating, my husband had never said anything like this to me. I was upset because this was the first time he had behaved like this since we got married. I do remember that my husband did say that he was not really good at cooking. But I thought it was a little bit terrible of him to say that house chores was only a wife's job. And a few hours later, my husband came home. I didn't really know how to talk to him, but he apologized to me.
I'm sorry, Emily. I just lost my temper, you know. But what I said before was not what I meant at all, so please understand that, honey.
My husband took my hands as he apologized to me. Well, if he apologized this much, then I'll forgive him, because he seemed really sincere about it. Plus, we have only been married 3 months. There must be a lot we don't know about each other yet. I want to show everything and accept everything, even the parts I wouldn't like about Lucas, and move forward on how to solve the issues one by one as husband and wife. Alright, it's okay, honey. It's true that I too was all about work and put Lucas and doing the house chores as a second priority. Now that we are married, we do need to spend more time together as a couple after all. And that's how Lucas and I made up. I try my best to not do much overtime as much as possible and try to go home as early as possible. And when I came home, I tried my best to cook for my husband every day.
Wow, this fried chicken is so delicious.
Oh, really? Thanks. I made a lot, so please eat a lot, okay?
Yay!
Lucas would eat all the foods I cooked deliciously. Seeing him eat happily like that alone makes it worthwhile for me to cook the dishes for him. But gradually, my husband stopped doing the house chores that he was in charge of. Hey, Lucas, the dishes are not washed at all, so when are you planning to wash them?
Well, eventually I will.
What do you mean, eventually? They still haven't been washed when I got out of the bath a few hours ago, you know.
Shut up. I'm full and I don't want to move at the moment. There's this TV show that I want to watch, so let me at least relax on the couch.
But you said that the other day, and there were still dishes piled up in the sink.
Then, why don't you wash them?
Excuse me?
I said, if you're going to nag me so much about it, then you should do it.
No, but we discussed about who's going to do which house chores, and Lucas, you're supposed to do the dishes.
Then, from now on, you do the dishes. I won't wash the dishes anymore. And it's all your fault for making me angry.
What the? My husband said this as he turned to look at the TV. I had no choice but to wash the dirty dishes. After that, my husband stopped doing any kind of house chores. He used to be in charge of cleaning the room and taking out the garbage, but he stopped doing even that. But Lucas would say,
"The room is so dusty. You should clean it properly,"
to me. He wouldn't listen to me at all when I tried to talk back to him, and he would come up with some stupid theory saying,
"You're my wife, so you better pick up the skills to clean up the rooms really fast, but in a proper way."
And there is one more thing that I am dissatisfied with in this marriage. And that is that my husband doesn't provide any living expenses. At first, we each provided some money from our accounts, and we were using that budget as our living expenses. But after a few months of marriage, my husband stopped providing the money for some reason.
I'm sorry. I'm supposed to treat my colleagues to drinks this month. And it seems like I used a lot this month, so it's hard for me to provide you any living expenses for the moment.
As Lucas says that, he never tries to provide with any money, and recently he said,
I have to send money to my mom and dad.
But his father, Ron, works for a major company. And Ron has been working for the same company since he graduated from university, so his salary must be pretty high. So what does it mean that Lucas has to send money to his parents? I asked my husband about it, but he says,
Well, I don't really know either, but it seems like they're having some financial troubles.
I was a little bit bothered by that because I wanted to find out if it was a lie or the truth, even though I knew I shouldn't go into it too much. And no matter how much I am in the position of department manager, it's still difficult for me to bear all the living expenses. Also, what on earth does my husband spend his money on without providing any living expenses? As I began to worry about these things, I received a text message. It was from Amy, my friend who had invited me to the singles party. Hey, I'm at a sightseeing spot in another district with my boyfriend, but isn't this Lucas? I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw the photo, which was sent to me right after receiving Amy's message. The photo was of a woman whom I had never seen before, walking with Lucas, arm in arm. I couldn't believe it. My husband was having an affair. I immediately decided to request an investigation by a private investigator. While I was waiting for the results of the investigation, the company entered its busy season. My husband had told me before that I should come home without doing any overtime, but clearly I can't be the only one to leave early during the busy season. Besides, I didn't want to just obey my husband, who was most likely having an affair, and go home early for him. Therefore, I worked overtime as much as I can and came home. Then my husband was waiting for me with an angry look on his face.
Hey! Where the hell is my dinner? What time do you think it is?
It's a busy season right now. That's why I've been working overtime.
Huh? What the hell are you doing? Didn't I tell you before to come home early and prepare dinner instead of working overtime? If you're going to slack off on the house chores, like how you are right now, I'll divorce you. And you can't even keep the curfew. You useless, good-for-nothing scumbag.
My husband, Lucas, shouts all these terrible things to me. He really is a selfish, arrogant man. He really is the worst. But I'm happy and grateful that he brought the topic of divorce and thought it was a great opportunity for me. I took out the divorce papers from my bag and handed it to Lucas as I said this. Okay, I understand. Let's just get a divorce then.
What?
My husband was surprised that I easily agreed to the divorce. And since I had even prepared the divorce papers, he was quite surprised.
What the hell? Why the hell do you have divorce papers ready already?
I'm just sick and tired, and I've had enough. You don't even provide any living expenses, and you don't do any house chores at all. And yet, you yell at me and try to control me. There's no point in staying married to someone like that. I'm going to leave immediately. So why don't you just do whatever you want by yourself? I don't care anymore.
I won't accept that. I will never divorce you.
My husband says so, but I didn't care and started packing my bags.
Hey! What the hell are you doing?
I told you that I'm leaving, right? I'm pretty busy at work this month, so I don't really have the time to pay any attention to you. Saying that, I left the house while I saw my husband being flustered. Then I went back to my parents' house for the time being. My parents were surprised that I had come home so suddenly, but they were outraged when they heard what I had to say. My husband had been calling me non-stop, but I ignored all of them. The next day, I just received a call from the private investigator saying that the results of the investigation were in, so I went to pick up the documents. As it turned out, my husband was having an affair after all. I was able to get photos as evidence, so now this would also help me to get a divorce from my husband because of his affair. I ignored my husband's calls and messages for a while, and when the busy season was over, I demanded a divorce from my husband through my lawyer. I called my in-laws, Ron and Jackie, to discuss the issue with my husband, and we had a family meeting at my parents' house.
How dare you demand me for a divorce? And what the hell do you think you're doing by even bringing a lawyer?
My husband blamed me like that, as if he was the victim. "Oh, Emily, I heard that you suddenly left Lucas." I heard that my in-laws were told by my husband that I abandoned my house chores and left the house on my own. So, I had no choice but to explain everything to Lucas's parents. I told them that my husband has been a terrible man and has forced me to do all the house chores, and that he hasn't been providing any living expenses. And finally, I showed them the evidence which I put on the table. This is the main reason I want a divorce. I cannot stay married to someone who is cheating on me. With the evidence I had, Lucas's parents were turning pale.
Hey, Lucas, what the hell is the meaning of this?
What the hell are you doing? Both Ron and Jackie questioned my husband.
No, this is...
I then handed the divorce papers once again at my husband, who lost all his words on how to explain his situation. You can't make any more excuses, you know. We'll just get a divorce and you'll pay me alimony. As I said this, my husband began to cry.
I don't want a divorce. If you leave me, Emily, I won't have any money to spend on, and I won't be able to treat my lover.
Excuse me? I was stunned by my husband's unbelievable comment, but I asked him what I had on my mind. You do work for an IT company, right? If that's the case, then don't you earn pretty well? Then Lucas said something unbelievable.
I was fired from the company a few months after we got married. Since then, I've been working at a part-time job.
Huh? What the hell? What Lucas had said surprised everyone.
I'm sorry for hiding it from you, but I only earn $1,400 right now, and if you leave me, I won't be able to make ends meet. I can't even pay for the alimony. So please, let us start over. I'll properly reflect on what I did.
I was just speechless to say anything else.
That's enough, Lucas. I am so disappointed in you.
Ron yelled at Lucas. Oh, Emily, I am so sorry for everything that happened. I will definitely make Lucas pay the alimony. Jackie says so and gave me her word. So in the end, Ron and Jackie made Lucas fill out the divorce papers, then sincerely apologized once again. I was glad that both Ron and Jackie intervened to make the divorce procedure go smoothly. And my divorce from my husband was finalized at last. As for the alimony, Ron and Jackie paid it all at once on Lucas's behalf. And Lucas was taken to Ron's brother's farm in the countryside and told not to come back until he earns enough money to pay back for the alimony, so he is being forced to work until then. But all of this happened because of what Lucas said and did, so he deserved what he got. I, on the other hand, have been working hard again and have recently been offered a promotion. Well, I've been married once, and now I'm going to devote myself into my work and get good results, as it doesn't matter either way whether I get to have a partner or not. Lucas was being a strict, bossy, arrogant husband when he was just only earning $1,400, and on top of that, he was also having an affair. What a scumbag. Emily was right to break it off with such a guy like him. A woman who shines at work is wonderful, and I am sure that she will find a good partner in the future. I wish for Emily's happiness in the future. Thank you for watching until the end. Please subscribe to our channel. We hope to see you in our next video.